Hello, meatbags. This is the ISO. I have Dabin here with me. I'm
Oh,
gonna try. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, no,
Hey,
you're good. I was just saying hello.
hello. I'm gonna try something different. I'm not just gonna game all the time. I think I need to diversify my portfolio. And some of you may have maybe gone back to my catalog in the video section of my channel and saw something that said Arch or ARCH. Um, that's my book, and I'm kind of working on it, but here I am, doing it again. I'm relentless. Sorry, but I'm gonna read my book to you, and you're gonna like it, meatbag. You're gonna like it.
Oh
just,
boy, I
just
can't
give it a
wait.
try, damn it. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
All right, so I'm going to introduce the characters, and then I'm going to go into the first arc of the book. And I'm not going to read it like a traditional, like, audio book. This is going to be an experience. So I'll show you pictures. I'll draw pictures. I might, in later chapters, go in my avatar form and do this. You'll get to see the writing here. I might deviate from this because this is only like second or third draft. I think it's second draft technically, but I'm not much of a writer. I'm more of a storyteller. I do D&D for a living. No, I don't do it for a living. I'm a contractor, but I do. I entertain my D&D players a lot, and they wonder how I come up with this shit. I'm just creative, okay?
It would be pretty cool to make a living off of that, though. That'd be
Dude,
pretty sick.
I know people that have done that, and oh my god, bro,
That would be awesome.
dude. So, okay. So, let me introduce my characters, and yes, I drew this. I am an artiste. So, this is this is binary. Or right here, or 1101101100111111111001, and that is okay. I should probably preface this. These are the tags above the characters in the augmented reality game that these characters play. It's a like sword fighting medieval kind of like they wear glasses and there's like spatial things going on in the environment, and there's like tags put on their like training swords. Are you familiar with Shinai or Kendo? Let me pull up a picture of Kendo. Um,
So I've heard the term kendo personally.
right,
I don't know that I can place something to it.
right. So kind of like Kendo, might be a modification of it, sort of, but basically put tags on these, and the system, the computers, the supercomputers in the near future. I'm not going to specify when the future is, but in the near future, you'll have decentralized computing in a large degree. I mean, look at what Meta's doing with the augmented reality glasses that they've got. Like, it's gonna get miniaturized and it's gonna be everywhere. So I imagine a game will exist like this, and society will hate it, and there you go.
I'll be
But
right back.
okay, you're gonna miss the character introductions. Oh, all right. Okay, so binary is what she goes by. She's kind of the tech expert, and her avatar name translates to B1MR1. Um, it, it's a hacky, like, I'm sorry, this is cringe. It's a hacky like way to kind of spell binary. Um, but yeah, you convert the numbers over, and I don't remember how I converted these. It was a long time ago. I'm sorry, but yeah, the ones left and the ones that converted me, blah, 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 right? Everyone just calls her binary. She's the only full-time worker. I should probably also preface the world is AI has advanced to a point where it is not common for people to be working full time because most people are on universal base income or UBI. This is a concept that's been floated by certain candidates for certain political parties. Basically, the robots take over. Sucks for you meatbags. The robots take over. The society now has to survive on something, right? So there's a ration of money given to everyone monthly. And so people who actually work jobs are considered like higher tier people, basically. But yes, she is the only full-time worker. She's a tech support person. She's the wizard in the D&D. Like, oh, by the way, should probably also preface this. Sorry, the game they play is D&D 3.5 themed or type. So it runs on like, or Pathfinder, should I say? It runs on a Pathfinder like system, and so she's the wizard. In her non-avatar form, she's got these like, bright, colorful, like stuff on her, like makeup and hair dye and all that, and and non and her avatar, okay, and her avatar form is very plain and very simple, and she's kind of the like, like keeping the party in line and keeping them from going too crazy or doing too many things that are illegal or, going way over the line. She keeps everyone intact, and she's the only one that's got a car too. So, and usually this is for some like tactical advantage among her peers or other people that she might know. And of course, she's very intelligent and likes to be the smartest person in the room and have these long, lengthy explanations for everything. So I've got some like picture stuff here. She's very serious in her non-avatar form. So she's got the highest tech frames, and these are the AR glasses. And all the encryption, all of the scramblers, and the things that make cameras spoof so she can't, like, cameras can't see her, kind of thing. Let's go to AK Vector Shift. So Vector. Vector is a character. Vector is your role player who doesn't know when to stop role playing, even when there's no role playing going on. I know people like this in real life, so this is sort of the archetype that I'm going for. He tries very hard not to break the character, and usually ends up making the most pop culture references, whatever character he's playing at the moment. And he of course plays a lot of retro games and tabletop. The most avid tabletopper. He's abrasive and loud. He's pretty thin in real life, but his avatar is like him, but shaved and kind of buff. He's unemployed, as most of the party is, but he buys and sells collectors items, so like figurines, cards, like Funko Pops, the dumb shit, things that people look at these days and go, that's crap, and in the future they're probably like worth a lot and still probably are, cringed at in the future, but he's the fighter of the party and he dual wields. We're on Vector. I was just talking about how Vector is the Funko Pop collector, and buys and sells buys and sells the dumb, collector stuff, and
what a way to describe somebody.
Right.
Oh, him? Oh, he's the Funko Pop collector.
He's the Funko. All right, that's it. He's the Funko Pop guy now. Dude, I know so many people that do this shit. It's like, oh my god, bro. So, so with his glasses, it's pretty standard shit. Nothing crazy, is the standard encryption, the standard, projector stuff. Everything's nothing really stands out about his glasses. Just his character and the way he presents himself. All right, next we got let's go with Strife. We'll mix it up. So Strife,
There you
Strife is she's got a lot of social media friends. She's built up a following as a social person. Like has like can't go anywhere without somebody like recognizing her or her recognizing someone. So you can't go anywhere with her because you are not going to do what you intended to go to do because you're just going to stand around with the person that she recognized and went, hey, what are you doing here? You know, like, and just stand around and talking shit for hours. So, yay. Of course, her actual friends is probably closer to Dunbar's number, where, you know, she just cannot have any more friends and cannot physically, like, her brain cannot, you know, actually have more associations.
Out of space.
Yeah.
More memory space.
Well, Dunbar's number is 150. You can actually only have a certain number of people that you can closely associate with before you just, like, forget people. Like, just they just get pushed out. Like, it's a physical limitation of how we function, but so she generally uses her spoofer to force her avatar into every situation she can. So if anyone has an AR glasses in front of her, she will force her avatar into that environment. Like, every single time. Like, cannot stand to be in non-avatar form. Way too self-conscious about how she looks. So she does work, but it's like super part-time, like super duper part-time. Just does little, you know, waitress work every once in a while. And has an AI familiar named Knit. She's the healer of the party. And, you know, you can see her avatar's very flashy. She has the most stylized, so if she ever does get caught in non-avatar form, she will have these, like, very stylish, function be damned glasses. They're actually very inferior glasses for various reasons. But she's got the spoofers and a really good microphone on them. But other than that, they're overly flashy and don't function very well. But yeah, very timid in real life. Not in her form. So, and we got the other clown, the other clown of the of the group. We have Baka, or Bakayaro Abazure, which means foolish bitch in Japanese. Yeah. So, tries to.
I hope he is exactly.
Here's your edgelord for the party. There you go. he's the Redditor. That's he will. He'll stuff his references in and whatever he can. Sorry, what were you saying?
I just said there's always one.
There's always one. Again, these are people from my real life that I know that I am inserting into this book. Okay, it's just it's that easy.
There you go. Whatever works.
Yep. So tries to be witty whenever possible. Mostly just references memes. Not witty, just cringe. Unemployed, living on UBI. I did describe to audience that UBI is, you know, prevalent in this day and age in this book. UBI, universal base income, because the robots have taken over and nobody has any jobs. So, like, AI has evolved to a point where it's so advanced that humans are kind of redundant. So, most people live on, you know, the stipend. But he's a rogue, but a like an arcane trickster. So he does like magic based rogue stuff, pretty much. Yeah, and his avatar is, as you can see, creepy and contorted, you know, He's got the wraparound glasses, extra large for additional screen space and more luxurious viewing for his habits, one could say. Look, he's got to have he's got to have his prawn and 8K, okay?
Of course, yes, of course.
Yeah.
It's a good thing to always make sure and have ready to go.
Yeah. There we go. You had that. You were ready to press that, weren't you?
I'm ready all the time. What do you mean?
What do you mean? What do you mean? All right. Thus we begin Arch, or Arch. Chapter 1. Character is binary. Sorry, I might switch to other things, but for now I'm just going to use this. The yell from BAKA was loud, but something muffled his voice. Binary had a hard time hearing it. What? She yells. Dick dragon, he yells back with a creepy grin. She looks over to see where he's pointing, to see a white dragon that looks suspiciously like a dick. She fights the momentary urge to laugh. The dragon does a short semicircle, flies by, letting out a burst of ice shards from its mouth. Both STRYIFE and BAKA are caught in the icy breath weapon. Other allies are nearby, but they get grazed. Fuck, BAKA yells, trying to get away from the now landed dragon. Binary sees her chance to hit an easy target. She prepares a fireball spell. A pop-up in her view says that white dragons are vulnerable to fire. No shit. So this, I should probably describe, this is the intelligence stat. So it's a translation, like when you roll intelligence in D&D, the AR game gives you a little pop-ups that, like, if you succeed on your intelligence roll, like, it'll tell you that what's like useful against an enemy kind of thing. So that's what that is. But she says, no shit, and muttering at the interface. Once she finishes the incantation, a bead comes from her extended finger and flies out and hits the dragon at the side of the head. Boom. A large fiery explosion goes off. STRYIFE, the healer of the party, jumps back and does an area heal on herself and her other allies. One of the allies that had gotten grazed, AK Vector Shift, yells out, "Prepare to die, dragon!" in what sounds like a reference to the Black Knight from Mighty Python. Yeah. The dragon beats its wings and scatters the fireball smoke. Before the dragon can respond, Vector has charged up and has become swinging on and lopping off limbs. Finally, the head goes off, and Vector yells, "Where art thou, craven summoner?" with a roleplay voice bordering on insanity. Does this guy ever stop roleplaying? Binary wonders to herself. The battle ends and the XP is rewarded. But there are no exiting opponents. Usually there are people to shake hands with and wave as they leave. Did they run away? STRYIFE says out loud. Binary pulls her AR glasses slightly off to the side, enough to not blank out the interface. There's a little bug that she figured out how to exploit to be able to do that. The fantasy elements of her vision peel away. No more vibrant, funky, colored sky. Same for her friends. They are less big, less pretty, and less creepy. Vector, STRYIFE, and BAKA respectively. She looks further around and sees a largish group of people loading up an SUV with foam practice swords and Shinai Kendo, both of which have IR tags on them. Yeah, they quit. Binary says, but doesn't point, because she knows that Vector will charge at them and assail them with endless quips and lame roleplay speak. Fucking quitters, BAKA complains loudly. Where are they? I will kick their real-life asses. Let me at them. No, you don't. We're done here. Come on. Binary points in the direction of her car, satisfied that she got to fulfill some kind of leadership role and responsibility. STRYIFE looks at her and says, "Hey, that's my job." "You're right. He's all yours." Chapter 2. This is from STRYIFE's perspective. I know, sorry, this is kind of all off the cuff. I just wanted to do it. I'm sorry.
No, I am enjoying this. No, I
Good.
like it.
Good. All right, we've only got.
I'm just
I think
listening.
we've only got 2 more chapters, or 1 more chapter after this. So, chapter 2 is Strife. Ugh, how do we end up getting so far away from the car? Binary complains. Strife glares at Binary for a second, then smiles when she knows her. We do this every time. We get so excited to stomp some low-level people off our territory that checking the map is the last thing we think of. This park goes on for miles. The day is also yet another hot one in the middle of the summer. Binary is checking her map. It looks like she's waving her hand around at nothing. She has privacy mode active most of the time. Whatever, the sooner we are out of this oppressive heat, the better, Binary grunts. Veritor will grovel at our feet when he finds that we have made it almost we've made it almost to his doorstep, Vector says in a grand voice, still role-playing. Oh yeah, I would love to own his castle. I'd invite all of the bitches, then blow it up. See the look. Oh, sorry, I'm bad at reading. To see the look on Veritor's face. Ha! BAKA rambles and squeaks a little. Strife looks at BAKA. He is waiting to see the look on her face. He giggles a little more. She shakes her head slightly and BAKA puts a big grin on his face, knowing that he got Strife to react. Then she feels a tug on her sleeve through her haptic. I can't handle all of them. There's too many. It's Nit, her AI, quote, daughter. Strife sees that her feed is blowing up. Looks like a neighbor of Veritor has used them as an opportunity to attack him at his base. Oh shit, Strife says out loud. BAKA and Binary turn to look at her. Vector is on his phone playing a retro game. Ah, don't worry, I got it, she waves off Binary and BAKA and pats Nit on the head. A few minutes pass. Crisis averted. I just convinced an ally of Blank Alliance to leave us out of their conquest against Veritor. Strife sees that no one in her group is paying attention to her, but instead they are all looking up. Is that supposed to be spinning like that? BAKA points at a drone car spinning wildly. That's fake. It's in virtual space, Binary says, tilting her head in a way that lets her see without logging out. Wait, we're in local space, and there's not supposed to be any elements in here. Is that a glitch? Strife asks. But she says it. But as she says it, the element vanishes. It's kind of jarring because it looked so real, but then it just vanished. The car ride to the nearest McDonald's is quiet, with everyone in their own worlds online. Getting out of the car, they are bombarded by ads and something that yells very loud in Strife's face, "Get a free meal with your next order." It gets worse as they enter the lobby. There are fake element ad people sitting at one table, enjoying a fake meal, acting very unrealistically, saying really canned things. It makes Strife want to vomit and go on an ad killing spree. Or both. I'll just have chicken nuggets, she says to the fast food zombie cashier. As they go to sit down at the table and pass the unrealistic ad people, Binary gives them a glare and an intimidating grunt, and they scatter in terror. She then takes their table. Never gets old. Strife is aware that no mere mortal can hack an ad, and finds it funny as well. Thank you, Strife says in a bemused voice. They sit down and begin to gorge themselves. They sit down and begin to gorge themselves on fake, natural fast food. When Nit asks, "Where do I sit?" she says in an almost pleading voice. "You don't get to sit, it," Binary says with a leer. Knit shows a face with mix and anxiety, twisting it in a way that Strife hasn't seen before. Technology is a fascinating thing. All right. Shall I go on?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. All right, chapter 3. We're going to be on Vector's perspective. On the way out to the car, a personalized ad pops out in front of Vector, previewing the local Renaissance fair. Vector stops when he sees the Queen saying something from the front gate. "Long live the Queen!" he yells with the ad. People are also saying "Long live the Queen" in the ad, of the background on the ad. "Why do you always have to be so embarrassing when we're in public?" Strife scoffs at him. A loud chime goes off in her pocket. She appears to swipe in the air at a notifications box in her HUD. "We have a guild challenge," she says, putting her finger in the air. Okay. The battle that they were summoned to is a designated battle arena in an old converted laser tag arena. Once they enter the heavily air-conditioned building, they see several groups of people circling. They see several groups of people in circles taking, and going over their gear. Okay, picking up and taking and going over their gear. Jeez, I did not proofread this. I'm sorry. There are also smaller pitted arenas that have people lightly sparring in them. In augmented reality, it looks like a royal melee and a party. Some people have their avatars dressed up in finery. There is this big door where people are gathering around for the main battle arena. The Prime Alliance is present and spread out, probably to bring in new recruits. Good to see some familiar faces. I think Vector stops mid-sentence. He notices Veritor himself, lording over a small group of his minions. "Lance!" he yells from the front door and storms over to him. Veritor begins, but is cut off by Vector's loud roleplay. "What has your summoner done with the damsel?" Vector says the last syllable in an upward pitch. "Don't call... What damsel? What are you..." Vector cuts him off again. "Don't try and deceive me, forked tongue. I see you in your viper pit." Vector is starting to sound like a Shakespearean play. Veritor turns bright red. "Vector, you're a fucking idiot." Vector pulls out his sword and continues to yell, "Come on, bear your weapon, barbarian, on guard!" Vector has drawn a lot of attention to himself, and a lot of people have stopped talking, and some people are laughing and pointing. The manager at the desk points at them and yells, "Hey, no fighting outside the arenas." Vector sheaths his sword and makes a forced scowl. "Saved by your peasant merchant for now, villain." Then walks back to his friends at the door. Binary is going through her menu with a look of frustration. Strife has her face in her hand, and BAKA is taking a video saying, "Nice, this is gold."
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Seems like the thing to do.
Sounds like what he would do, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Vector is aware that people are talking about him and laughing. "What are you all laughing at? I'll take you on. Come on, who will face me?" Everyone is quiet and staring at him. People in the sparring pits glance over to see what is happening. Vector goes over to the sparring pit and calms a bit. "Okay, I will implement a handicap. 3 individuals versus myself." Still no takers. This must be karma from the last time he was here. He had hurt some promising up-and-coming leader from a guild that Vector forgets the name of. He just doesn't know how to hold back. "Fine, I will only use 1 hand." Then the volunteers start to roll in. "Good, let's have a clean fight," he says like he's a boxing ref. 3 tall guys enter the sparring pit. Did you want to hear the conclusion of this arc?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
We're this far.
Yes, might as well, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
It's getting my attention.
The chapter 3 is always kind of the like, in my head it's always been like that. This is the funny thing that draws people in, you know.
Yeah, here's the comic relief.
Here's the comic relief, right?
You gotta have some of that.
I toiled over those lines. All right.
Next is just to proofread them.
Exactly. That's the only problem. I mean, I've proofread them. It sounds different in your head than it does when you say it out loud. Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah, no, it definitely does.
I need an intermission. Where's my drink?
Where's my drink?
My drink. This is my drink. Okay. Chapter 4. BAKA. Yes! They're doing a night event. Baka's avatar eyes burned with excitement. He says this to Strife, who is ignoring him. Ha! That loudmouth got his ass kicked. Strife says to Binary. She sighs and then says, I think we should use him as a distraction in our front line. Binary says, as a plan seems to be formulating in her mind. Strife nods in agreement. Quit ignoring me, Baka whines. Strife turns to him and says casually, You're right, we should pay attention to. She's cut short as she notices that Baka has dropped his shorts and is rotating his hips. Cover yourself! She shrieks and walks away bright red. She has animated puffs coming out of her head as she leaves. Most normal people wouldn't use animated emotions. Knit is there too. She is sticking out her tongue and quickly turning on her heel to chase her master. Baka knows that Strife is used to it. Lawsuit. Sexual harassment.
Right? We need to call HR.
Call HR. This isn't a business. This is a theocracy. I imagine these conversations are going on around this event.
I would imagine.
Yeah. Binary leans towards him as he's pulling up his shorts. Unperturbed, she says, I'll be using Vector as a distraction. I need you to pay attention to the bomb wielder and do what you do best. She hesitates for a moment and then breathes out. Just try not to embarrass us, please. Too late for that.
Yeah.
The game begins in a small village. The overlay is really realistic because you can hide in buildings and stuff, and it's built on an old laser tag arena with stairs and doors fixed in. Each side has an obvious goal that is visible from either side. It is set up to have a lot of tight, sharp corners, making it easy for Baka to hide and surprise people with his superior stealth skills. His first victim is caught blindsided when Baka screams really loud at him from the dark. He scares the low-level fighter and manages to get a one-hit kill sneak attack. His second victim isn't so lucky. From the shadows, he sees his victim as a slightly lower-level ranger. He activates his preferred wand to use the spell Swift Minor Image. He seems to squish out of the alleyway. He's disguised as a grotesque furry tentacle monster. The ranger is clearly surprised, considering that he is screaming. Baka gets off his critical sneak attack and manages to knock him out as well. This screaming continues, though. The poor newbie doesn't seem to realize that this is just an illusion. Baka does his customary teabag over the ranger. The illusion of the tentacle monster is still going on. The scream, can't you do this? The straight faced.
I'm just imagining somebody just
The scream.
Not even a long scream,
Bro.
just short screams over and over and over.
This is like an unhinged D&D campaign. Oh, that's how I wrote this. Is unhinged D&D campaign, by the way.
Hit the nail on the head.
Right. The screaming person suddenly goes quiet. Must have passed out from fear. Baka moves on. Picked him down. Going on to the next one. He hears Vector quipping before he sees him. I shan't fall to the likes of you pawns. Reveal your master. Vector is flanked on two sides. Baka takes the opportunity to quietly pull one of the attackers off Vector, getting him in a grapple and covering his mouth. That feeling in your lower back. That's not my sword hilt. Baka feels him trying to squirm in response to the comment. Good. Struggle. Better for me. Yeah, there we go. Baka cuts him down in a single coup de grace. He is letting coup de grace is killing them when they're incapacitated, by the way. And for those non-D&D people in the chat. As he's letting the body go, he notices someone with a bright light in their hand run by. Shit! The bomb! Baka takes off towards the bomb holder, leaving Vector to his doom. As he chases the runner around a Gothic arch, he sees a kill marker in his HUD that Vector has knocked out another of the fighters. He hears him yell another corny roleplay. The runner is in the base now. He sees Binary summon up a blast of water to try and slow down the runner, but misses. The runner is really fast, and it seems he seems to have a lot of awareness and dexterity. He enters the goal, and the bomb grows so bright that Baka can't look directly at it. The enemy scored. Game over.
Oh man, there's so much going on in the end of that last.
So this little bit in the beginning of this, I'm gonna think no, that's it.
All right.
I think that's it. Yep.
I think it's great. I think this is it's ridiculous. I love it in the good way. It's the good ridiculous, you know.
Oh man,
got the right amount of insanity.
Yeah,
the right amount of what the fuck.
I'm gonna try and clip some of this stream and put them in short form and just put them in the feed and see what happens.
I think that's a great plan.
Oh man, I'm glad you got that soundboard there. You're just like really adding to that, bouncing it off, you know.
I'm happy to be of service.
Yeah, should do this more often. You
no doubt.
you hear pretty often? You do this a lot?
I mean, I guess. Oh man.
All right.
I am gonna call it a night though. I am sleepy.
Sounds good. All right, meatbags. I'm gonna do more of these, and I'll get the I do have several more chapters, I think. Yeah, I think that was the end of that arc. So yep. All right. Later, meatbags. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.